Alright, good day guys. This is Gabriel Emmanuel Maji. I'm the creative director for Boss Concept and Boss Graphics as well. And today I'm actually going to be talking briefly about the interface of the Adobe Photoshop CC. And also there's actually an updated version right now, that of the 2022, but for now we're going to be talking about this one, and then I'll make another video explaining that of the 2022 as well, for those that still do have this version and enjoy making use of this version. And all thanks to the Adobe Photoshop, for an amazing job that they've done with this, and it's actually helping millions out there. Alright, so let's just dive directly into the application. And if you're opening yours, I think it should look like mine, but in case you're noticing some features and on the interface of my Adobe Photoshop and you don't have it, you could just, of course, don't be scared. You could actually just go to the workspace window, and then click on workspace, and you see default. Just click on default. You could see default essential. So just click on this essential default, and you should be able to have a workspace like mine, something like this. So of course, the first thing that we want to do right now is to create a new layer, of course. So we move to file and click on the file, and we have the new layer. And as you could see, the shortcut is also attached to them, but for now I want you all to actually just learn how to do it the normal way before you could start working with shortcut. But you will surely see me make use of quite a lot of shortcuts in these videos, but don't worry, I'll be writing them down so you all could notice what I'm actually doing in the background as well. So just click on your new, and once you click on new, this menu comes up, it pops up, and you could do virtually whatever you want to do with it. You could actually just on this name, this is more like the title of it all. You could name it whatever you want to name. Like most times I actually do that after I'm done with my work. That's actually a bad way, but to keep your work organized, this you could name, let me call it basic tutorial. Basic tutorial. And international paper. These are actually the presets of some papers that are already there that could help you in working as a default and no. But and these are the size. But the A4, I'm sure a lot of people are actually familiar with the A4. And also sometimes I love working with my own default sizes. Like let's say for instance, if you're working for a post or that you want to make on Instagram, the default size is actually 1080. That's 1080 by 1080. So also we could see here which has the width and also the height. On Photoshop we have put the pixel, the inches, centimeter, and quite a lot of excuse me, quite a lot of measurements and skills that you could actually use for this. So but I'm actually, most of the times I work with the pixels, and then like I said, I want to work on an application on the Instagram, on a post for Instagram. So what I'll do, I'll just change this to 1080 by 1080. So I mostly love working with the pixel, and since I want to make a design for, let's say, an Instagram application, and the size for it is going to be a 1080 by 1080, and once you open your Photoshop for the first time, I think your resolution should actually be at 72, but I love leaving my resolution at the highest. But just know that once the resolution is quite high, your pictures or your final product is going to be quite sharp, and at the same time the image size will be large. So it depends on what you're working with. We have the color mode, that's with the RGB, quite a lot of them actually. We have but basically we're going to be talking about the RGB and the CMYK. With the RGB, we know that it's actually for jobs that should it's just for screen, it's for screen jobs. Then the CMYK are print jobs, if you want to print this stuff. And mine is showing 8 bits, I will just leave it there. And then the background, you could actually change it, but I prefer to leave mine on white. And Yeah, let's jump into it. So we actually have this, and then I could easily just come to my move button and then drag it up here, so it could be on a full screen much better. So we have this already, and we have, so every single thing here is gonna actually help us to make any single design we want to make on the Adobe Photoshop. So I'm actually going to be talking about the interface and all these two buttons and how powerful most of them can be. So first of all, I think once you open this, you're going to see that this background is locked, and maybe you want to do something. You could actually unlock it by just double clicking. Once you double click, you could see this popping out. You could name it whatever you want to name. Let's say I'm going to call it background. Okay, and color, you could actually, it's actually unknown at the moment, but you could change it to whatever you want to change it to. Once you do that, you see it's reflecting here. Then mode, there's the different kind of mode that you could actually leave it. So this is actually the blending mode of the work. Let's just leave it at normal and then click OK. So you see that this place has that red color. So now this, what we've done right now, we've removed this. It's no longer smart objects, it's no longer locked, and we've actually removed it from, yeah, we removed it from the lock. So once we click on our move tool, you could see that you could actually move it anywhere you want to move. So behind this is a background. Now whenever you see something like this, it shows that this is transparent. There's actually nothing there. There's nothing there. So moving this now, for instance, you actually render this and you export it, you find that you're just going to see only this layer, this part here, this part filled with white. That's the only thing you're going to see, because why these other parts it's actually transparent. So I'll click on my Ctrl Z to take it back to the way it was. So I actually just changed this so I could explain something to you guys. Oh, background, sorry. Background, yeah. So I actually just unlocked this panel so I could explain something to you guys. Most times it's actually nice keeping it locked, and I could still lock it just by clicking on this lock icon, and it's locked again. So first thing that I want to do, okay, let me just bring a shape into this. So once you right click, or sorry, once you right click on this, you're gonna see quite a lot of different shapes that you could. There's the custom shape tool and the rectangle tool. Of course, this is self-explanatory, but the polygon tool, the line tool. Now this custom tool, once you click on it, you find that there are some different shapes here that are actually there for us. This one, it comes with the application. Yeah, they're there for us. You could pick from any. So, but for now, I don't want to work with that yet. Let me see. I'm picking the polygonal lasso tool. Now notice something. If I click and I drag, okay, so this is a polygonal lasso tool, and I've been able to click and drag, and now I clicked on my move tool. It was here, and while I was here, I can't use the same panel to move it. You see, if I click, this was gonna show me, because what you're telling the system is that make another one, but that's not what I want to do. So since I want to move it to the middle, I will come back to my move tool, click on it, click on this, and then drag it to the middle. So this is actually how we made this, right? So now let's assume that we want to scale this to either being small or big. We're going to press our Ctrl T, that's for you to transform. So once you click on it, you could actually drag. Now notice something that's happening. You see, once I just click and I'm dragging, it's actually scaling, but it's not proportional. So but if I want to scale proportional, I could actually hold on my shift, my shift button. You see, once I hold my shift button, it's actually scaling proportionally. But if I release my hand from my shift button, this is what I get. but once I'm holding my shift button, you could see it's scaling proportionally. But once I click on Alt, it's going to shape proportionally on every side. Yeah, so that's how it is. And then if I want to rotate this image, I just simply go down and then, yeah, about the edges, and then rotate, and if I'm done with this, I could actually come here to click, sorry, I could come here to click it's okay, of course I'm fine with this work, or I could cancel it. And at the same time I could just press the enter button on my keyboard. But let's just work with this. Just click on this and it's okay. There's actually a whole lot you could do with this image that you've actually created here. Clicking back on this shape button that's over here, or the shape icon, you could see that we have the fill and the stroke over here. There's quite a lot you could actually experiment on that, but the sheep fill, it's you're telling it that okay, fill it with this particular color. You see how the colors is, they're all actually changing, and I think I like this. See, yeah, I think I like this color. Then now this is the stroke. You could actually, mine here is actually it's turned off, but you could decide to turn your own on. Once you turn it on, you could actually fill it with any color you want to fill it with. Let's say if I'm filling it with this color, then you could see it's actually reflecting. Then you could also increase the size of the fill, or you could reduce the size of the fill depending on what you want to do or what you're actually doing. So yeah, let me turn that off. So actually, I think now also I think there's something I need to explain. Sometimes maybe you have a color in mind and you can't see them in these color switches. You could just come to this and click on it, and then this comes up, so you could play around, pick any color you want to pick, and once you get the color, once you're okay with it, then you click OK and you see it reflecting on it. So it depends on what you want to do. So that's how you could change the colors here. Alright, so from here let's just dive into the effects panel so that you could see what we could do with this. So we're actually going to quickly dive into the effects panel now. So the easiest way to do this is just to come over here and for us to double click. Once you double click, not on there, just once you double click, you see something opens up, and this is actually the blending option or the layer style. Now there's a whole lot you could do with this, bringing or making a very unique style. So we have the drop shadow, we have the bevel and emboss, we have the stroke, we have the inner shadow, inner glow, and all. So what this does for us, let's click on the bevel and emboss. You could see the edges of this shape that we just created. Now we could just click on it, and different options came out for us to know how to be able to manipulate and to work on it. Now this is the depth. If I increase it, you could see something happening at the edges. Yeah, let me zoom it a little bit so you could see. Now this is the size. We could also increase the size. You can see what's happening. Then this is to either soften what we've done, or to, let's just leave it at 0. Then this now is telling us, okay, where exactly do we want this bevel to affect? So we could actually say, okay, affect the outer part, and whatever we've done is going to go behind, affecting the outside. Or we could say come inside, of course. Or we could actually say, okay, we just need the emboss, and it could look like this. This one now, both the inside and the outside is a bit affected by what we did. We have the pillow emboss. You could see what's happening, more like giving it a very thick shadow or something like that. We have the stroke emboss, but because this layer does not have a stroke, so you won't actually be able to see this. So let's leave it at the inner bevel. So now this is actually the technique. You could actually you could actually leave it to be smooth, or you could leave it to be chisel hard or chisel soft. Now this is what all this whole stuff does. Once you click on chisel hard, you could see what's happening. If you like it, it's looking nice. Or you could actually click on chisel soft, and there's not much difference, but if you're looking at it from here, you'll be able to see what's happening. So now this one is just the angles that is affecting this. The gross contour, once you click on it, there are different ways you can see what's happening. Change it. Don't know what you're looking for, but just play around and see. Maybe you find what you're looking for. Okay, so she was here, and this is the opacity, how it's affecting the whole work. You could actually reduce. That's the opacity of this effect, and remember it's on screen, so just allow it to be there. Go back to 75, multiply, and then the rest. So now going back to stroke, it's going to give it a stroke, a layer. So this stroke, now you could see we could actually change the colors of the stroke. We could actually increase the size of the stroke. We could actually decide to leave it inside. You could see it came in and it's actually looking nice. But we could actually leave it at the center. The center will be put in between that is going to be inside and a little bit also outside. So then we have let's leave it outside where it was. And this one is the blending mode. You could decide to just change it to different blending mode, but I think it should be dissolve. I think we're going to get there, and you see the effect more when you're working with pictures and also on text and the rest. So this is the opacity, and this is the color. You could just click on the color and change it to whatever you want to change it to. Yeah, to whatever suits you, change it. So this, so decide to just leave it on red. Yeah, let's just leave it on the, yes, I think I like this. So let's see, we're leaving it here. And now the inner shadow just brings shadows inside of the art, and then you could actually move the distance, increase the choke, and also the size. I'll explain the function of all this once we're talking about the drop shadow. So let me uncheck this inner shadow. Then we'll have the inner glow, just for you to give a little glow inside of it. We increase the size, you see what's happening. So we'll have this satin, and this is what it does. The same thing also, but the size and all. We'll have the color overlay. Color overlay is just to place a different color on the work. Now you could click on this side here and change the colors to whatever you want it to change to see what's happening. So actually do like this, bro. You see what's happening, what we're doing to this shape that we just created. So you could actually decide to leave it like this or not. You could uncheck it, and we have the gradient overlay. Gradient overlay is what it does, it just gives a gradient. You could actually still change. There are some inbuilt gradients there for us that we could pick from. And at the same time, we could actually decide to create hours. Creating hours, how do we do that? It will just come over here, click on it, and then this comes up. So let's assume that I want to change this color. Once you click on this, you can see the color appearing here. So you also click on this as well, and then we have, you see what's happening. We actually changed it already. So let me say I went for this black over here, or let me bring it up a little bit. I think this is not bad, and then come over here. You see the color changes to that one over there also, and then I could change it to any single thing that I want to change it to. So this is actually what the gradient does. So you could see we've actually created a new gradient that wasn't here initially. So I actually decided to actually click on the new for it to be there, and then we click on OK and work on the style. It could be radial, it could be angle. You could see what's happening. It could also be reflective and diamond. So depending on what you want to do. Now notice one thing that's happening here is that all this whole layer style and explanation I'm actually giving, these are things that will help you in your design. Maybe you might decide to actually work with them on picture or text. Most of the time the text layer, and get some beautiful text pattern. So talking about pattern, we have the pattern overlay. So pattern overlay, now you could actually click on, let me uncheck this, So once you click on the pattern overlay, you could see what's happening. It changed to this pattern. So there's some inbuilt patterns that are there for us that we could choose from, and sometimes we could actually create yours as well. So let's say we're working with this, and we come over here and we're changing this blend mode to overlay. You could see what's happening. Now you could see the function of the blend mode or screen. You could see what's happening. So actually making a pattern is looking like something that a builder could actually want to look into. Yeah, so but leaving it at normal, you could see it's covering every single thing. And I'm checking them, but we could still leave the gradient over there. I think I like it. Then we'll have the outer glow. Outer glow has to do it. Okay, this isn't okay. The outer glow, it's from the name glow. It gives it this kind of flare of light. And this is actually changing the color. It's actually on screen. Let me change the color to something that could be much more visible, so we all could understand what I'm trying to say. So we could increase the size and also increase the spread. Okay, it's on screen, so it won't work on white. Let me assume that this is on normal. You could see what's happening. So that's what outer glow does. And then we'll have the drop shadow. Drop shadow, from the name, is just giving it a shadow. So we'll have this. So we'll have the distance, the spread, and the size. Most times we work with this tree. Angle, it depends on where you want the shadow to appear. Let's assume that you already understand where the light flare is coming from, so you could use that to actually demonstrate where you want your shadow to fall on. So distance, just moving it away from the picture a little bit. The spread is basically, let me reduce this a little bit, or let me just move it upward. Yeah, okay, I think that's fine. So you can see what's happening properly now. So the spread, it's actually making the shadow thicker. Okay, let me just increase the size so you can see what I'm talking about. Now you see the size, of course, it just has to do with increasing it. Now the distance moves it. Now if I'm moving it, taking it back to the center, I'm moving it down, you can see it's actually moving according to the angle that was posted or that was directed over here. So let me assume that I'm leaving it at 0, so it's going to be at the middle. That's showing that the light is directly falling on top of this image. Then the spread, it actually makes it much thicker. You see what's happening? If I increase the spread, is increasing the whole shadow, and the size is just to make it, yeah. So that's actually all for the effects panel. So if you're okay with this, you could actually just click on OK, and then we're good. So now we're actually going to move to working with image, so that we could be able to also, I could be able to explain some of all these panels that are here, these adjustment layers that are here. So funny enough, you could see how every single thing that we've created is here. So we could check and uncheck anyone that we don't want. Gradient, you could check the gradient and all this and you could also close it. These are our layer, and it's very important also. We have the adjustments, we have the style, and we have our colors and the switches and all this whole stuff. It's amazing that we could work with. So still, I think we've just explained the move tool, the shape tool, and the effects panel. So we're going to jump into working with images, so we could see how we could make use of all the stuff that are over there. Alright, so guys, we're going to be working with an image now, and we could actually place it here, but if you place the image here, it's going to automatically take the resolution and also the size of this image. So I want this image to have its own, to be open on a new panel, and to retain its original shape and size. So I'll click on open. So once I click on open, okay, I think I have some images. Okay, so this image that we're working with, actually downloaded it from the Unsplash. Yeah, this from Unsplash, and it's I think it was done by It's Machine. Amazing people, wonderful job. So I saw it and I liked it. So You could just click on it, or you could click on place at the same time. Sorry, I just went ahead. Let me just exit this. Once you come over here, you go to open, and then you find wherever you've dropped your file, and this is mine, and then you click on open. Once you click on open, it's supposed to open. So of course the same thing, yeah, of course the same thing that we did the last time. On our move tool, we click over here, we drag it to the top so it could have its own panel. And this is still locked, right? You can see how good this image is. It's an amazing image, if you ask me. Ace Machines actually did a great job with this. Yeah, so I actually love their work, and you could visit them on splash.com. You get quite a lot of things to work with. So right now I want to work on this image. So